And we should be live once again. If everything's working alright. So yeah, tonight we'll be playing some British battleships. Vaguely trying to work towards this decal, and at the same time seeing what changed. Because apparently they've done some things to ammo racks and fires in the last few days. So yeah, I think we'll just get right into it. I'd like to get a decent bit closer towards getting HMS Rodney. At least tonight. Haven't really played too much naval the past week. Been too busy with the Great War event. And getting all of those tanks. And let's see what map we get. South Kvarken Encounter. Ugh, the bad side of it is actually not a good side if you had Japanese torpedoes. But not really optimal for Repulse, unless I get a spawn that'll allow me to get back here. Well, let's see what happens.
Prepare the ship for battle. Engines.
Okay, that's looking decent. Alaska, so it is a 7-0 game. Madi as well.
Destroyer. Ahead. Action station. Enemy spotted. Collision
We do have 15-inch guns, so we should be pretty okay.
Hell. Midship. Hell midships. Aye.
This is always a bit awkward. We do have an enemy team. Roanoke, Flinger, another Flinger, Strasbourg, and some more cruisers.
280. Target identified. Light cruiser. Bearing 260.
Let's see if we can do something to Strasbourg at opening salvo.
280.
Long-range engagements have become a lot more difficult with new ballistics, and I wasn't good at them before this update either. Also took full ammo, didn't I? Probably shouldn't be doing that anymore. Not too much, luckily. And let's just get moving. Ramage should be able to do some stuff at this range.
Collision alert.
Still over. Quite a bit. Yeah, that 5-inch arc is quite high nowadays. Too much lead apparently against Dunkirk.
Near hit.
So the elevation was better at least. Few hits, 2 non-pens and 1 overpen. The 1 overpen being because it hit the superstructure. Alrighty. Let's try one more and then just switch fire to a cruiser.
Target identified. Light cruiser. There. Alert. Helm. Midship.
Yeah, hold it on ground.
Dangerous shallows ahead.
The elevation should be pretty decent against that Fargo. And was too low, never mind.
Short. Speed up.
Considerably short even. And my Barbette is already damaged. Okay,
Begin damage control.
let's get that fixed. Can't even remember getting a hit notification, but alrighty.
Light cruiser. Port. 11,000 meters.
Let's get the range again. It's flooding quite severely. I think my 15-inch shell actually hit very close to the waterline. Or it could have been somebody else. What is our penetration like at range? Boy, god awful.
Shells on top.
Yeah, that actually struggles with most battleships, even their upper hull.
Port your helm. Aye. Steer port.
For mercy!
Battleship. Port. 12,000 meters. Target identified. Battleship. Bearing 260. 12,000 meters.
Put my gunners on all targets, just in case a coastal vessel pops up out of nowhere. It's probably going to be undershot as well, isn't it? Maybe. Pretty decent. Even then, the shells just did nothing when they hit the belt at the waterline.
Overshot.
And that's a Kirov, they're not exactly the best armored.
Midship. Helm midship. Aye.
But that shell is just not good, is it? Although the fragmentation does a lot of penetration.
Target identified. Battleship. Bearing 11,000 meters. Battle cruiser. Ahead. 12,000.
It's a hostile Wyoming, that's a nice ship in the back.
Target identified.
This could be an interesting target.
11,000 meters.
I'll wait for the lead calculation.
Identified. Battleship. Bearing 12,000 meters. Target identified. Light cruiser.
decent-ish hits. Still splashed mostly against the superstructure.
Mercy.
It's better, but there's not much crew to really pick out. And there it is! That's when my gunners are on all targets. To tell me about stuff like that. Where are the torpedoes? I don't see it. Oh, I see one. I see one. I see two. I should be able to dodge them. Just if I just keep going. Yeah, they're right there.
The victory is near.
Yep, right there. Should be safe. And that is why you should always have your gunners on all targets if you're maneuvering through islands with these big ships. And why you should always look around if you're not actively shooting something. Probably won't pen, but let's see how it goes. Maybe it'll knock out a turret. Yeah, 3 non-pens, 1 overpen, because it went through the funnel. Not great. An awful lot of cruisers nearby. So we'll just have to get closer, I guess. Yeah, it was better. Just keep an eye out in the sky. So not going to be enough lead, is it? I'll stay to the rear, but it's too far behind. Shatters, sadly. A lot of them hit the turret by the looks of it. Still quite a lot of non-pens, even on the broadside of 100 ton. I really need to get the AP on this ship first then. Something's going on with the fire effects as well. Let's wait on the lead. And what just shot me? An AI, I assume, that somehow set me on fire. Always gotta be careful that nobody comes through there in a capital ship. Because they can. It's never great if you do.
Attack the enemy.
Even if that was non-pen. Yep. Definitely needs a good AP.
Target identified. Battle cruiser. Starboard your helm.
I should just probably focus on the enemy cruisers now instead of trying to deal with these dreadnoughts. It just feels wrong not be using your 15-inch guns against dreadnoughts this close. But okay. That's what the new 15-inch ship is like. Then that's the case. That was too much lead forward. Maybe this frontal magazine blowing up will put it down. There we go. Traces from the rear gun for some reason. Ships have been jumping forward for some reason whenever you go look at them for long enough. It's okay. That one I just blasted the front turret straight into the mountain, but it will. Let's see if we can find something interesting over in this direction. See, just jump forward. I'm getting closer and closer to their air spawn, which is a little bit scary.
Thank you very much.
As long as nobody dies on their team, there shouldn't be any aircraft up. I should also repair my funnel if I can move at full speed. There we go. Some targets. And I will take... Yep, I will take manual control of my secondaries. Because those are actually useful against cargo boats. Should have waited for the repair, but oh well. And now I have a Dunkirk to worry about. Great. Dunkirk, which I cannot pen to my knowledge. Actually, yeah, no, I don't think I can actually pen it with the sap. But let's try. Let's see where the shells will land. Not where that one went, but sure. 8 non-pens. Lovely. So basically, yeah, I'm powerless to do anything. Maybe shoot the turrets and start fires that way. The anti-air guns are also opening up, which is scary. I can't even knock out the turrets.
Somebody attack him.
It's an Arado coming at me, and he managed to get too close.
1,000 meters.
Surely what you do with a fast jet bomber is dive bomb, instead of, you know, toss bombing it, so you can stay out of the air. Okay, got the cargo ship. As well as shooting to a mountain, that's fine, really. There's literally nothing I can do to this Strasbourg anyways. I also need to be aware of my flooding, because that bomb did put a very big hole into me.
Damage control to repair parties.
I almost wish I actually took some torpedoes on this thing.
Flooding! Big compartment detected!
Destroy the target.
Battleship! Astern! 6,000 meters!
I agree.
Damage control to repair parties. Restore watertight integrity. Collision alert!
He's ignoring me.
Battleship!
Could have maybe detonated his secondary magazine.
Target identified. Battleship!
6 pens. 15-inch guns, point blank. Lovely. Well, that's what you get for not having AP, I guess. The thing is that Strasbourg doesn't have torpedoes, unless it's, you know, planning on doing anything. I'm also incredibly angled now, so
Sorry.
who knows what happens. Oh, you're not getting the kill, that's for sure. He is. He's already launched a torpedo. The torpedo hit the boat. You are not getting that kill, friend. Yep, there goes the second torpedo, but fine. They're fine. Should probably stop the repairs whilst I'm on fire. Strasbourg is just sitting there. I can continue to sit there for all I care. It's not like I can do anything to it anyways. Constant fires will be annoying though. see if I can hit that Fargo where it hurts.
Damage control to firefighting crew. Control burning the pathfinder.
Bit more forward, I might have had gotten his radioactive. Fires and superstructure and stuff, it can burn. I'm never gonna get the flooding under control because of the constant fire. Well, constant shelling. There we go. God, that is awkward. All because I do not have AP.
Starboard all. Action station, enemy spotted.
I'm not even sure if I selected AP to be first researched on my Repulse. If I haven't, then I'm going to switch it over immediately after this battle. And it's game over anyways. Okay. That was a weird match. But a decent amount of RP, and it was indeed not the first thing I was researching. Pain. Well. Let's switch it over, I guess. Although... I could just stick it out of the sap until I can unlock the better AP. I think I'll do that actually. Just stick with it. Yeah, get parts, get a better AP, then get FP, and see from there. You know what? I see I have some 200% boosters burning in my pocket, so I'll just use those as well. Something's going on with my lineups. Why is that one? Hold on. That doesn't make sense. I saw that as 6, 7, and 7L lineup even. Oh well. Nope. I was thinking of doing the Battle of Jutland event for tonight's stream, but it really isn't great. Also not very unpopulated when I played it, at least. Has some interesting mechanics though. The sea level clouds, which are basically then rolling fog banks, are interesting. Sadly don't do much, but still interesting. Okay, New Zealand Cape. Let's try if I can get over there with Repulse. I usually sit behind this island, just left of B. The Battle of Jutland event. Okay, I'm not surprised if he isn't having a good time. The thing is, right, on paper it's a fantastic event. Like, it's just nothing but dreadnoughts fighting each other. But the recent ballistic changes made fighting battleships with other battleships not fun. It is a chore to try and actually sink a battleship. Especially at range with those lower early guns. Yeah, but the thing is, you don't even have to play that event to get the decal. You can get the decal by just playing the ships. You don't have to do it during the event. So, part of me also realizes the mistake of playing Repulse in this lineup and not Marlborough or Orion, because they grind towards that event. But oh well. Okay, we do have a bit of a much harder 7-0 match here. The post-ban damage I haven't had a problem with. Post-ban damage feels very much the same. It's the pen is really has really changed for battleships. Where before you could quite easily overpen bow on targets. You just can't now. Like, angling armor really makes a difference, especially at range. It's difficult to really enjoy the battleships now. But on the other hand, it does mean that you really have to think about where you're shooting battleships now. Like, I'm still spading my Orion as actually I was spading... Is Orion the only 13.5-inch gun? Anyways, I was spading Orion a week or two ago, just after the ballistics changes, and it was struggling dealing with the Russian dreadnoughts, which I wasn't used to. 13.5-inch guns that were really good guns for 6.3, 6.7. Because them struggling with Russian dreads, that was a something I had to get used to. But then I realized, oh, you just have to aim for like the front or the rear of the ship where the belt doesn't extend quite as far, or you aim higher so you don't hit the main armored belt. And they did alright. It's definitely something to get used to. It has made long-range fighting completely different though. I think I mentioned it at the start already, then I'm not great with it. Compared to like 6-7 kilometer fighting for destroyers. Absolutely fantastic. Luckily my highest point of the ship is above the smoke screen, so I don't get, you know, any negative effects from being smoked up by a friendly like that. But that is questionable to say the least. And of course the guy who fired it just got sunk. And is that a Scharnhorst? You know, it's an Alaska. I just saw the two turrets and a vaguely long bow and I thought it was a Scharnhorst, but nope. Alaska. I haven't actually seen too many Scharnhorsts yet, which is a bit surprising. Also, what is the... Doesn't the Alaska have a 12-inch belt? I think I literally cannot pen it, can I? Where's the range? I think it's around there-ish. Slow them down considerably. 9-inch inclined, okay. 9-inch shit is literally... Oh, that's my point-blank penetration. 10 kilometers broadside on? Yeah, that's 6 inches. That's not going to go through it. Got some upper deck damage into the crew compartments, we'll be fine.
Destroy the target!
I do like the look of Repulse. It's a very nice looking battlecruiser. And the 15 and the... I think in general the battleship guns, or guns in general, got buffed, didn't they, dispersion wise. So the 15 inch is a lot nicer to use as well. I just can't get the range on this guy with my usual methods. So that was an AI. Okay. Let's see what the AI Alaskas. Let's explain some things.
Destroy the target.
Let's see what's in front of us now. Kronstadt, just going bow in, but it's also an AI. That's a cruiser. Let's focus on the cruiser because I don't think I can do anything to bow in Kronstadt like that. Get into this island cover as quickly as possible as well. Yeah, it's a good first hit. Cut the rear magazines.
Attack the enemy. Destroy the target.
Too much lead apparently. Although luckily one of the shells still hit the shell drum. Let's see what kind of damage we can do in a construct like this. Absolutely nothing as I expected. Also when the battleships around, I do not want to get their attention towards me. What's in front? What's in front? Another. That is not an air Kronstadt. However, he is broadside compared to the other one. So let's try. And 3 non-pens. Yeah. I am starting to regret my decision for not going for that first AP anyways. And again, I should have brought repeaters. And there's a Tennessee just parked there. I think the Pittsburgh actually killed the Kronstadt. Okay. And the Kirishima. Not great for me. That's a lot of scary ships with a lot of scary guns down that way. So my only real target is the AI Baltimore.
Let's keep
There goes Tennessee.
Enemy hits. Reload.
A little bit more wiggle room.
Engines, all stop. Enemy listing.
Light cruiser, starboard, 6,000 meters.
Shells on top. Hell, hard apart.
Still not an awful lot.
Collision alert.
Attack the enemy!
Short.
Bomber, ahead, 8,000 meters.
Okay. I don't need to be too afraid of torpedo boats in this area. Let's put the gunners to just anti-aircraft duties.
Battleship.
Can my turrets see that boat more?
Attention to the designated grid zone.
Okay, only my front ones, but it's still fine. Hiroshima actually doesn't have an awful lot of armor.
Enemy hit.
And at 2.5 kilometers should be able to still go through it, or if only just. Although this match is also pretty much over already. But I wouldn't be complaining for a 200% booster game with no AP. Maybe a lot worse.
Attack the A points.
There we go, can just barely pen. The upper belt should be 6 inches thick, I think. So let's see if we can put some 15 inches up into there.
Vessel is adrift.
There we go. And I'll take that assist.
Battleship. Bearing 100. 6,000. Target identified. Light. Bearing 100. 6,000. Engine, full stop. Collision alert. Shells on top. Engine, all astart.
Battleship, starboard, 5,000
Ooh, there's Colorado out there. No. I think I can still use that.
Let's keep the pressure on.
Oh, I completely missed that question, but 5.7 Invincible. I haven't actually played that battle rating since Invincible became 5.7.
Control to firefighting crew. Control burning compartment.
Probably give that a shot as well, really. Yeah, one more game and I'll have the better. No, I'll have the AP. But yeah, 5.7 Invincible. I should give it a shot at some point. But not today. But yeah, you could, for the decal for this stuff, you can just do it in normal battles. You know, let's just do... I'm thinking... I could just do this battle with the 200% boost for Repulse and then maybe do a battle in Invincible. But... I don't know. Don't really know if it's worth looking at Invincible at the moment. There's also something about ammunition actually now mattering in naval. They haven't had the time to do proper tests on that yet.
Action stations, man your posts. Engines, flank speed. Starboard all.
On starboard, aye. Destroyer, ahead. 15,000 meters.
Southampton are in full down here.
Enemy spotted. Collision alert.
It's our Duke is 67, Southampton 5757. We are in a full down tier by the looks of it. Interesting. What do we have an enemy team? There's some battleships over there, but they're early dreadnoughts. Yeah. Do we have anything scary on enemy team? Not particularly. Good news.
Target identified. Battleship. Bearing 260. Target identified. Light cruiser. Bearing 260.
The question is... I think I've already found my first target.
Destroyer. Bearing 260. Starboard your helm.
Aye, steer starboard.
Oh well, probably won't be able to hit the destroyer from that range. A Grasp on the other hand. Could be interesting. Zogan is hurting a little bit close. So let's just give it some more space.
Helm. Midship.
Helmet ship, aye.
And apparently one of my turrets wasn't quite aligned. Oh no, one of my octuple pom-poms. Whatever will I do? These were high. And now we just try and do what we did last time on this map.
Compartment. Target identified. Destroyer.
I'm hitting the spear. It's quite heavy enough.
Thank you very much.
Helm. Midship.
Helmet ships, aye. Battleship, port.
Those are looking decent. They were pretty decent. Just couldn't quite get to the magazine.
Port your helm.
Aye, steer port.
We're ahead of the enemy.
And it seems to be flooding out now.
Enemy hit.
Just a full salvo into the bridge, but it doesn't do much.
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
Space is actually going to sink from this, is he?
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
And half my salvo goes into the mountain, but that's fine.
Battleship. Repulse. 12,000 meters.
Target identified. Destroyer.
Destroyer. Ahead. 12,000 meters.
Battleship.
And now I really just want to sink at speed. Finish where I started.
Helmet ships. Aye.
Gonna be high again and miss. Hello there, Jeff. Is that a player cut off? It is. Okay.
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
Always tend to target all stationary targets first.
13,000 meters.
Target identified.
For no real reason, other than to just teach them a lesson that they shouldn't be stationary in open water like that. Those are the secondaries.
Target identified. Destroyer.
Battleship. Ahead. 10,000 meters.
There's Strasbourg/Dunkirk. And I overshot our Italian cruiser here,
Heavy cruiser.
somehow.
Attack the enemy.
Target
That
identified.
should one that's closer, I guess.
Cruiser. Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
So these are going to miss, aren't they? And he's already sinking as well.
Target identified. Light cruiser. Target identified.
Let's see if we can hit this Italian again.
Battleship. 9,000 meters.
Port your helm.
Ooh, there's some ships getting a bit closer.
Destroyer. Target identified.
Those are looking decent. Sadly, no direct hits on the ammunition.
Helmet ships. Aye. Destroyer. Ahead. 11,000 meters.
I'm gonna put gunners on all targets again, just in case. Can't get an accurate range on this Italian. There we go.
Port all. Helm mission.
Don't really have a better target than the Italian cruiser at the moment, so I'll just keep shooting it. He immediately repaired his engines, really? It still doesn't move. Well, be my guest, I guess. 'Cause I'm just gonna shoot him again.
Port your helm.
Aye. Steerport.
do an awful lot of damage there. You know what? Let's actually spread our fire a bit. What? What damage model change between realistic and arcade?
Hardcore, aye. Light cruiser. Ahead. 9,000 meters.
And are these all over shots really? I thought I measured the range correctly.
Helmet aye.
Shells on target. We are down.
Battleship. Ahead. 9,000 meters.
How's that reverting the damage model if you just shot, you know, in Arizona near the number 3 Barbette? What on earth are you saying, man?
Hit.
What false advertising?
Battle cruiser.
What advertising to begin with?
9,000 feet. Port your helm.
A low health spay.
Target identified. Heavy cruiser. There. All zero.
Port. 8,000 meters.
We are down.
And I'll wander over again.
Short.
Light cruiser. Ahead. 5,000.
Starboard your helm.
Aye. Steer starboard.
Target identified. Light cruiser. There. 9,000 feet.
And now I didn't have lead, so I just missed horribly.
We are down. Short.
Please just hit him. One solid salve and its spray just sinks. Or not, as I get 2 non-pens.
On the starboard.
Hard starboard. Aye.
Spray is sinking, so I'm not gonna waste another shot on it.
Destroyer. There. 9,000 feet. Target identified. Light cruiser.
Battalion is over there.
Target identified. Destroyer. There. 9,000 feet.
Let's see if that salve does anything, or just overshoots again. Nope, there we go. Good hit.
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
Helmet
We are down. Shells on target.
Put gunners on anti-air duties predominantly, because we are in the air spawn again, close to it.
Target identified.
Okay, this is not where I should be going. Although there are just some targets over there.
Ahead! 7,000 meters!
Engines, all back. Port your helm.
So if I try and keep a low profile, but that Poltava seems to already be looking at me,
Battle cruiser.
I just shoot at his cargo ships, although we are already winning quite handily.
Engines, all stop.
Still, I want to shoot the cargo ships because I cannot damage any of those battleships, to my knowledge. Come on, stop looking onto the dreadnoughts. Give me a look on the cargo ships. And we're just gonna go for reverse. They've only done it in arcade, because they changed the entire gunnery system in arcade and somehow broke AI gunners. But that is definitely not intended. But I wish you could look trying to make a bug report and something like that. Nothing. You actually managed to splash the shell room somehow. Yeah, that is actually splashing these shell rooms. Okay. Maybe gets lucky with some fire spreading, but it doesn't seem like the fire's anywhere near the ammunition.
Commencing attack.
Yeah, those just went into the mountain. One of those went around it.
Target identified. Destroyer.
But let's just focus on these cruisers again.
Collision alert. Target identified. Light cruiser.
He still has 6 minutes in his match.
Target identified. Light cruiser. Target identified. Heavy. 7,000 meters.
That's way too much lead apparently. And undershot it anyways. What?
Target identified.
Never mind. Let's shoot at something closer.
7,000 meters. Enemy hit.
I mean, kind of, seeing how well they're actually doing.
Enemy hit.
Attacking.
Battle cruiser! Port! 4,000 meters!
Engines all stop.
Attack the enemy.
Ah, there we are.
Shells on target.
The repair bug, to my knowledge, isn't fixed, but there's a very simple way to not get the repair bug again, right? You go to options, you go to common battle settings, I believe, and this, you just switch it to no, and the repair bug no longer happens.
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
That is all you need to do. It is stupid that that for some reason causes the repair bug,
All
but
astern.
yeah. Just switch it to no. It no longer happens.
Direct hit.
Battleship! Port! 6,000 meters!
Overshot.
Battleship! Ahead! 500 meters!
Sure thing.
Shells on target.
Oh, right. I don't actually know what the difference is between the two 88 shells. I actually shortly talked about it in my review on AFD a little while ago. But yeah, they do have two different shells. I don't know what the difference is. One is a normal 88 HE shell, the other one is an incendiary shell. So you'd expect it to set more fires, but I genuinely don't know.
Battle cruiser!
I think I do use the incendiary shell as the equipped shell, but I don't know what the difference is between the two.
Target identified. Light cruiser. Bearing 220.
Other than maybe better fire setting chance, but
Engine.
that's something I haven't been
Collision
able to
alert.
statistically test.
Ahead! 6,000 meters!
Target identified. Battleship. Bearing 6,000 feet. Engines all stop. Enemy hit.
Not with 88s. 88s don't tend to detonate, well, hull break ships, even. Though I haven't actually tested the new coastal hull break thing. Then again, that is not for every coastal vessel either. But 88s don't hull break. 105s do, but 88s don't.
1,000 meters!
Direct hit.
Let's see if we can do something about the flinger, but I think the Lon. I don't think the London's quite aware that I'm right here, am I? He's gonna slam straight into me. Akabon is a pretty decent premium to use. Among all the non-plans, there's no point in me trying to shoot these battleships.
Hold your helm.
Yeah, among all the premium frigates, the Akabon isn't bad, at least in my opinion. I think you definitely get more value out of an Akabona than a PTO2 if you were to grind the Japanese coastals with it. There we go, AP unlocked. We should get something. No, let's get FP. Should be our next one. And before we forget, we'll equip the AP. And just continue on. Went through my daily bonus stuff, but I am getting closer to Rodney. Encounter Fuego, okay. This is the one where you spawn... Oh, how do you face again? I think you go towards the island, don't you? Or do you go that way? Yeah, you go towards it. And let's not accept, because we've noticed it's useless even against cruisers. Okay, a very small match.
Secure the ship for sea. Engines, flank speed.
It doesn't, but also does make sense, because Glorious, I think, actually comes after Invincible, historically speaking, I'm not sure. But now that's the fact that Invincible has a lower battle rating than Glorious, they moved it before it. And, ooh, okay. Of course you go your Sarnhorst now.
360. 8,000 meters.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
Bearing 360. 8,000 meters.
Ooh, that's an interesting way to do that.
Steer starboard. Collision alert.
But you know, the Akabona is a decent frigate and a decent premium to use to grind attack through with. It still, of course, as with most frigates, isn't optimal compared to destroyers of the same battle rating. Like, genuinely, Mutsuki and the Mommy are better than it in longer range engagements. But it doesn't make it a bad ship.
Damage control to repair party. Pump out flooded compartment.
Enemy hit.
Engines, two-turn. Repair party. Repair party. Begin damage control.
You need to look at what the actual armored belt on Invincible is, but you'll find that Invincible isn't that invincible at all. I think it's actually a very thin armored belt. Yeah, I can understand that feeling. But I think the biggest pain about frigates is not the fact that they have to fight more competent destroyers, it's the fact that it takes you so much longer to actually get upgraded. Like 3.33740 destroyers take a handful of matches to spade completely. But with a frigate, that'll take you a good 20, 30, maybe if you're really unlucky, 40 games. And yeah, that's the whole game. The 15-inch accuracy seems fine now. Didn't really think they were too bad before, but now they're more than adequate. Still have the old that thing happening, but yeah. Guess it's just farming cruisers now. I'm slightly in luck and slightly unlucky, because this guy in the Scharnhorst on the enemy team is somebody I know. So with a bit of luck, he'll leave me be. I really need to get down the Russian battleships, but I just can't be bothered. I'm gonna wait for the fire to be done, so I can just go straight through this Russian cruiser. There we go. And not suffer the reload debuff. Yeah, for beginners I wouldn't recommend it either, but I found the Japanese tree to be semi-decent, though I must always add that I am a Japanese man at heart, so I am slightly biased towards their ships. It's also been a good long while since I've actually spaded them. I want to shoot at broadside target, I want to shoot at bow-in targets. Because then I can do damage through the entire ship. Yeah. A lot of ricochets. Okay. Is there an auto ricochet angle on these shells? Yes, there is. Yeah, I was kind of questioning what that sentence was, Kenneth, but that's fine. One thing I have actually done a fair while ago for my Japanese tree is I've gone through all of my ships and grinded out their camos, which can be a interesting way to re-experience ships. So that itself has also been a while now. But I still have to do quite a little bit of 5.7s and beyond. Let's shoot this from the tunnel and see what happens. If the turrets want to rotate. Three pens, but not an awful lot of damage. Again, I didn't hit the engines and I didn't hit any crew compartments by the looks of it. Could also just be that I'm not used to 6-gun damage output anymore. I've been playing a lot of 10-gun, 12-gun, 9-gun battleships. So playing something with only 6 guns can be a bit underwhelming at times. empty shells just underneath the super firing turret. That's decent. There we go. You know, I've heard a few people that I know say that fires have become a lot more lethal. I haven't really seen that yet in the AI ships, at least. And yes, I have tried the Battle of Jutland event. I've only played one battle on the British side and already determined it wasn't for me. There was some interesting stuff though. But it's just... with the way that battleship gameplay has changed a lot with the ballistics changes, I don't really just feel like playing big open ocean map with that's nothing but battleships for repeatedly. Just don't feel like it. I'm already not great with long range gunnery, and then playing it with only, you know, a select amount of battleships is just my thing. It's the thing is, the gameplay of it is literally no different than any of the open ocean cap maps. It is just okay. It's nothing special. The only special thing about it is that it seems to have some kind of rolling fog, which is kind of cool. So every now and then your ships will get covered and you can't really see them, but meh. Yeah, exactly, Connor. That's the one I'm talking about, but I haven't really seen the effect of that yet. Because I'm setting all of these AI battleships on fire, and I'm not really seeing any magazine detonations, are you? Although there are a lot of fires going on, and okay, that was a detonation, but that's no kill I got. It's just, I don't know what's going on with fires. I haven't really died to any fires either. The front magazine seems to be the most vulnerable, but it doesn't actually look like any of the magazines are particularly vulnerable. So that's the second time he's died to the warspite now, which is surprising. The things I've seen, although I don't remember what he was playing, but somebody I know was saying he got 7 fire and 3 seconds later his showroom detonated, or his magazine detonated. But it's also something I've seen happening in the Fortis update, so I'm not sure if that's something new or if that's just a ship he hasn't played before. I don't know. Okay, now I'm on fire. I think it's in my front turret. It is in my front turret. I'm not really seeing any noticeable increase in fire damage. Putting it out very quickly as well, so yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. There's a Fritz Axis again. Fire actually splashed his magazine. So will that fire spread to the magazine? Who knows? Nope, put out. I want to get in Indianapolis as well. I think that model got leaked years ago, didn't it, for Indianapolis? For some reason, that was difficult for me to say for a moment. I swear we got the model for Indy somewhere. I think I made a mistake challenging the Archangels like this. Hold it, fires out. There we go. That is actually not enough compensation, at least it's about.
Engine, all stop. Helm, pitches.
Actually, now that I think of it, before the April Fool's event, what was our last event vehicle? Was it the plane or was it another? No, it was the tank, wasn't it? The Fidos, the Italian car with a rocket launcher on it. And there we go. Now I lost some ammunition to a fire, but it's nothing unusual. At least from what I know.
Action station, enemy spotted. Target identified. Battleship.
Bearing 340. 9,000.
I've actually spaded USS Hoquiam already. But yeah, what about it?
12,000 meters. Direct hit. Direct hit. Overshot.
So,
Enemy hit.
Hoquiam, I need to remember what I actually did for it. I will say, for some reason, I got really, really lucky in my matchmaking most of the time, where I didn't fight. I usually had down tiers in Hoquiam, and most of the time I fought destroyers, they were incredibly new and apparently didn't know what left click did. Because I have genuinely fought destroyers in Hoquiam that didn't shoot once whilst I was engaging them. But yeah, in general, use AP. Never use HE on the 3-inch guns. Always use AP. Try and always get to the coastal areas, as you really should do with weaker frigates. And when you do get to the coastal area, switch to using your 40mm guns. Because you cannot use the 3-inch guns firing forward, whilst you can with the 40mm. And 40mm are more than good enough for most coastals. When dealing with destroyers, use AP, shoot for engines, shoot for crew compartments, shoot for magazines if you're lucky enough. It's really strange because I genuinely did have just very good matchmaking with Hoquiam. And yeah, I managed to get into battles where destroyers just didn't put that much resistance against me.
Target identified. Battleship.
Bearing 340. 9,000 meters.
I will say that Hoquiam has become a lot nicer to spades ever since they changed the AI for naval. Because with it, for some reason, they also changed that coastal vehicles or lower BRs really got a lot more coastal maps. And Hoquiam does benefit from that, getting more and more actual coastal maps like North Sea, well, not really Fiji, Ireland Bay, stuff like that.
Battleship.
But yeah, Hoquiam is still a difficult ship. I managed to spade it, I managed to actually kind of enjoy it. But it's not an easy ship to spade.
Light cruiser.
Well, the thing is, refits... We don't really have many naval folders that I can think of. Especially in the Blue Water Tree. But... Yeah, a lot of refits aren't folded because they can drastically change ships. Like the biggest example I can think of at the top of my head is Kako and Furutaka. Completely different ships after a refit. But then also go 1 BR apart, so you can't folder them. Then you get stuff like the Ise and Hyuga. I couldn't think of the name for a second. Which, armor-wise, don't really see anything else. They do get a torpedo balls, they do get some anti-air, but yeah. Oh, don't worry, you can ask me any questions about coasters or anything. To be perfectly honest, the main reason I stream is to answer questions like that. And the other reason that I stream is to just give myself a good excuse to sit down and grind tech trees for 2 or 3 hours at a time. But you know, I absolutely don't mind answering any questions to coastal or any other tech tree or naval. Doesn't matter what I'm playing. Can't really bow pan ships like that. Hold on, why are you just sitting broadside on like that in your Wyoming? That deserves some attention. We are barely winning. I think I didn't give it proper lead. Yeah, that's going to be too far forward. Let's come to a halt so we can get a proper shot off against this Wyoming. I have yet to unlock Cool Bow. I've heard both bad things and decent things about it. Another naval content creator I very much respect, Commander Tyriels, I think got Cool Bow shortly after it got introduced and said he didn't like it much. I think it should be an okay ship, but yeah, I do still have to get it myself. What are you? Okay.
Light cruiser.
Okay, that panned. Okay. I'm not complaining about that result, but that's that. Sure, that happened.
Victory's near.
I want to figure out what actually happened there. Let's do the match. Yeah, has been doing a lot of other naval games in general, I think. If that's what he wants to do, that's fine by me. But yeah. I also haven't really been keeping to my upload schedule as promised. But March has been... Apparently most months are very busy months for me. But March was a pretty big one for me as well. What a course I had to do in the entire month for my work. It kept me quite busy. Had some very busy weekends as well, which wasn't the plan. But oh well. I've got some holidays coming up this month, which I hope to use for some video making. So that's a Bayern. Hangar is still Bayern too.
Target identified. Light cruiser. Target identified. Battleship.
I think those are also... I really need to revisit the like 5.3, 5.7 cruisers. Especially the less... the less played ones. Like I do have a soft spot for the American Treaty era cruisers, but I just haven't played them in years. I think genuinely years. It's just I tend to not really play factories that I don't really have to grind anymore. Like sure, Colorado and I got released, but I just want to focus my Brits first. Then probably get Colorado when the RP boosts for them are in effect.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
That's also another reason why I like getting some mid-tier editions or early-tier editions. It really lets you play those BRs again. Like Matsu from... How did he fail?
Retreat to base.
Ah, barely. Oh well. Like that's one of the reasons why I liked playing Matsu again, is because I played that BR of Japanese ships again. Now I am curious, because I didn't do too much in... Also, let's get improved range finding, then armament alters that. Does that score count? Yes, it did. Good to know. Yeah, it also says so. So all I have to do if I want to get score for this is just play Repulse. And if I die, just respawn Orion and Marlborough, but that's the plan anyways, and I get the full score for it. Good. Yeah, I think, do I still have a lineup of them? Yeah, I really need to replay this lineup again. Probably need to get some different aircraft. But the 5-3 American cruisers I really need to replay. Because I do have a soft spot for those treaty cruisers. They're not great, but still. They're quite iconic. Anyways, back to more Repulse. Yeah, it is a bit of a shame that they've haven't really given us many more cruisers. I'm trying to think what the last cruiser is we got. There's a French light cruiser we got, Galissonnaire. It's probably the last one. I'm trying to think of any other 5-3 cruisers we got before it. We got the Bolzano, yeah, I was thinking about Bolzano is probably the one before that. Haguro, yeah. That's like... Yeah, Haguro would be the one before... Was Haguro before Bolzano or after? I didn't remember. But I kind of class it as something, you know... Haguro is 5-7, so that's a different type of cruiser than a 5-3 one. And I still don't understand... Well, I do understand why the Haguro and Miyoko are 5-7, because their crew is incredibly vulnerable. I actually don't want to go here, I want to go up north and go down. Come on, there we go.
Action stations, man your posts. Engines, flank speed.
This is an odd angle. The swarm used to spawn more facing towards the A point. Dreadnought. HMS Dreadnought? Like the actual HMS Dreadnought is not... Actually, it's 6-0 now, isn't it? It's gonna be better at 6-0, that's for sure, but it's still not great. You still can face full up tiers to 7-0, and you can still get some really, really nasty matches that way. I'm not sure if that's worth it. Oh, how expensive is that? They also... Oh, Talisman Dreadnoughts, is it worth it at 6-0? I mean... If you had to, it's better than putting it on a 6-0 cruiser. Does Britain have a 6-0 cruiser? I don't think they do. Out of all the ships to put it on, if you only have Dreadnought, why not?
Enemy spotted.
But I would wait on sale, if possible. But I think if I were to put a talisman on any British, like, If I were to put a talisman on any British battleship that isn't the 7.0, right? I would probably put it on Marlborough. Yeah, I know it's 6.0. Dreadnought is 6.0, and that's... Yeah, it's not bad. But it's still, it's not great. You're not gonna get an awful lot out of it, I think, if you're going to really grind the rest of the battleships with it. But maybe. I'm not too sure. I don't really... I haven't ever really bought talismans for my vehicles. Except for when spading that vehicle itself. And a talisman is always useful if you just want to get spade something as quick as possible. But to grind the rest of the tree with, well, to grind the rank, the rest of the rank with it, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's for the best. I'll have to look how pricey it actually is. Because I think the thing you have to be careful of with putting a talisman on the 6.0 Dreadnought is, yes, it's 6.0 right now. It's most likely not going to stay 6.0 forever, I hope. We'll have to, yeah. But you can consider it. I don't see a reason not to do it. But, meh, I personally wouldn't. That's all I can say. But I also have a very different approach to researching new vehicles. I don't really use premium vehicles or talismans all that much. There's a lot of Scharnhorst dying to British 15-inch, isn't there? It's really quite surprising. Nope. We have a Baltimore.
There. 280. 12,000 meters.
And there goes another Scharnhorst to, well, German, 15-inch in this case. It is weird to see. But I'm not complaining about a weaker Scharnhorst, that's for sure.
Target identified. Battleship.
Bearing 220. 12,000 meters.
Starboard your helm.
Clear starboard.
What do you mean of that? About the hull damage wasn't supposed to take so much damage, because it doesn't take that much damage.
Damage
Flooding,
control
I need
to
to
repair
stop
parties.
that.
Pump out flooded
And put gunners
compartments.
to all targets, because we're approaching
Damage
islands again.
control to repair parties. Restore watertight integrity.
Battleship. Ahead. 13,000 meters.
Target identified. Battleship.
I mean, yeah, but it's weird to see Scharnhorst going from practically immortal to blowing up every single time. It's a weird sight. Might give me another... I might have to try it again.
Port your helm.
Because my Scharnhorst is still not spaded. And it's something I should do whenever it becomes weak. Just to see what it actually is like now. But yeah, other than Scharnhorst blowing up, I haven't seen anything too different. At this battle rating. I'm just not entirely sure what you mean with hull damage. Because the new flooding mechanics thing seems to be fine. You don't take that much damage unless you're really being hammered for several minutes, rather. I think, if anything, they've implemented this new flooding mechanic fairly well. This update, for however necessary it might have been.
Starboard your helm. Target identified.
There goes another Scharnhorst blowing up. Again, to 15-inch guns. Yeah, like this update for realistic battles has been largely fine. For arcade, though, let's say I'm just happy I'm not an arcade player. I mean, yeah, might be worth a try. It apparently just blows up. I do wonder how it is blowing up. Is it like traveling down the barbette again? Or is it fires spreading crazily, or is it literally a direct hit to the magazine? That's a big oof. Getting detonated by an AI Hipper in your Kaiser. Okay.
Port your helm.
That is a... No, what is it called? Is it Mackensen? I keep forgetting what a German battlecruiser after the Flinger is.
Starboard! 6,000 meters!
Shells on target.
For some reason the name of it just doesn't stick with me. Ah, Ursit's York, that's one. Thank you.
Shells on target.
It might have been, but the thing is, Warhead, I haven't actually noticed that mechanic all that much yet. I've seen you talk about it, but I haven't noticed it myself. Like, I've had my barbette on fire on Repulse, and it seems fine. It seems like it used to be. I've set AI battleships barbettes on fire. They don't blow up. So if it just affects Scharnhorst, that would be kind of funny. Although, what ship were you playing again where it kept happening? Or was happening quite a lot? Quite fast. Oh, Queen Mary. It might have been just a problem with Queen Mary as well.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Queen Mary can kind of blow up quite quickly.
Forces have captured a zone.
But yeah, the thing is, I'm thinking it is the fire damage change, but I don't see how.
5,000 meters!
Let's just wait, let's just wait. I won't detonate. Okay, where did that torpedo come from? Now that was a fire detonation. And that was really quick. A torpedo from a barm of all things. Okay. I'm actually a bit shocked now. I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, that definitely is the increased fire damage. But that doesn't seem that excessive compared to what it was before. And that was a torpedo practically hitting me right next to the magazine. So I'm fine with that, but yeah. No. The thing is, the torpedo might have just not been aimed at me. Would it have been aimed at though? Oh well. Who knows?
10,000 meters.
This is a little bit annoying though, because I wasn't out to get to the B point.
Hell, midship.
Also, am I playing Marlborough? I thought I selected Orion, but oh well. I will actually look at it. Although, remind me after this battle, because I am quite prone to forgetting things I should be doing when the battle ends.
Starboard your helm.
Steer starboard. Battleship. Ahead. 10,000 meters.
Because like, look at this. This ship is now on fire for a long time,
Target identified.
but it's not doing anything to the magazine. I say as he immediately blows up 3 seconds later.
Target identified. Battleship.
Okay. I'm yeah.
Enemy listening and losing speed. Keep on down. Target identified. Battleship.
Light cruiser.
Like this is one of the more difficult parts of being somebody who wants to try and be knowledgeable about naval, is they change the damage mechanics so radically in such a short time, and it really isn't obvious what exactly they changed. So trying to figure out what exactly is happening and how different it is compared to beforehand is such a pain. 3 non-pens and 1 overpen. Here.
Hold your helm.
Aye. Steer port. Heavy cruiser. Ahead.
I think there's an enemy on the B point. Because I'm willing to bet right now I'm not going to be able to do any damage to Strasbourg because he's angled. That lead is also incredibly incorrect. Or he angles too much and I still hit his frontal magazine? I'm confused at what salvos will actually do damage or not.
Enemy forces have captured that zone.
But the thing is, it isn't every major update. It's just some of them. Like, before this update, we've had a good half year of consistent damage mobbing. And then, like, HE pen changes, ballistic changes, magazine detonation changes, BR changes to battleship, all in one update, and it's just, what are you doing? What is going on? Ah, okay, that's not great. Because he'll just pan cleans from my bow. This is the reason why I don't spawn down here.
Repair parties, begin damage control.
And that's the guy that's been capturing B. Okay, so the middle of his ship is there. I want to hit in between the 2 turret sides. 2 in front of lead. Let's see if it does it. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Helm, harder starboard.
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win.
Almost. if any of my rear guns actually were on target.
Damage control to firefighting crew. Control burning compartment.
Fire supplier. Currently have a... And I was too quick on the trigger.
Heavy cruiser! Ahead! 5,000 meters!
How did I black ammo storage and not get a detonation? Alright. And I just hit the same shot again. I need to hit this one right behind the first turret in order to actually sink him. That is easier said than done. There we go.
The enemy is winning. We've got to counterattack.
I'm liking Repulse. It's fairly tanky. I haven't been getting shot at that much to be honest. 15-inch guns behave a lot better. You definitely want to get the AP though. The 15-inch sap is not what it used to be. Even against cruisers it can be a bit underwhelming. And there goes the second Strasbourg. Yeah, it's the British SAP is 15-inch SAP is definitely not what it used to be before the update. So what I did on the Repulse is I just went parts, then the better of the two AP shells, then FP and the rest. Well, to be honest, Kenneth, the Iron Duke is a battleship, whereas Repulse is a battle cruiser. And as I said, angling in battleships has become so much more important. And that's what I'm trying to do, and why I had to deal with Dunkirk in front of me. It's just angle. Although I am losing still. Just fire 4 balls here in someplace. I have half of my shell tracers not rendered. What are my secondaries? I don't have AP on the secondaries. Okay, that explains it.
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
Ahead! 5,000 meters!
Shells on top. We are pretty
that should be one sinking Baltimore class.
Target destroyed. Target identified. Light cruiser.
And of course the enemy is capturing Zone A.
Target identified. Light cruiser. Hold your helm.
Aye, stiff horse. Light cruiser. Horse. 4,000 meters.
Attack the enemy!
If we don't do something fast,
I haven't seen any kill feed bugs.
Engine. All stop.
Attack the enemy.
Air 320. Height 1,500 meters.
Bomber. Ahead. 9,000 meters.
enemy forces have captured a zone.
Enemy hit.
A bit of a high salvo. I think the current way ballistics work just makes a lot of salvos go high that you don't expect them to. Or hit higher than you think they would.
Direct hit.
Losing health towards the bottom.
Repair party.
Let's turn this
Parties begin.
barge around.
Destroy the target!
Yeah, sometimes it happens. I don't know why that happens either, but it doesn't matter because you are getting the kill.
Fire spotted on the enemy.
And of course I fired again when the rear guns were just not quite in battery yet. Okay, it's Nevada. That guy's been sitting there the entire time. And who's I'm his only kill as well. And that was from a torpedo he managed to get a lucky hit with.
Flag speed.
Not renowned Repulse, but good joke. Repulse has been pretty alright. I've been having pretty decent matchmaking. It's really weird to see Scharnhorst just explode, but other than that, yeah. I can't get a good clean shot on the bottom.
Helm. Hard to starboard.
So I'll just get out of the way so it can stop shooting me.
Target identified. Battleship.
I think by the time I get my next salvo off, yeah, never mind. Game's already over.
Report losses.
Yeah, no, Repulse has been fine. Yeah, well, it has been fine once you get the AP. 15-inch sap is no bueno. Not anymore, at least. And we'll just keep going. Okay, I'm getting decent progress towards my Rodney at least. The thing I do sometimes find a bit funny when I look at my own tech trees is by the time I've spaded all of my 6-7s, I will have both Rodney and Warspite. So all of my 7-0s will remain unspaded until the next ship rolls around, and I'll be able to spade maybe 1 or 2. And so forth, so on and so forth. I think my Americans are in this summer state at the moment. Of a lot of 6-7s and 7-0s not being spaded. And as somebody who likes spading all of my ships, it's just a little bit irksome. midway. I completely forgot about that corner. Yeah. What I should be doing is just like put somewhere I can write stuff down. And just look at that sheet of paper every time we go back to the hangar. For some reason I don't have that. I just think by now I'd know myself better than that, to not have something like that near me.
Engines, flank speed.
Oh well. Swap match again. We won't be getting jumped by coastal vessels, so I can switch my gunners to just anti-air duties.
Hold your helm.
Aye, steer port.
Another thing I've been keep forgetting is actually equipping torpedoes on this thing. Although now that I actually have proper AP shells, it doesn't really matter.
Target identified. Battleship.
There is one thing that does kind of annoy me sometimes when you get into matches like this with very little people. You'll lock onto an AI ship, then all of a sudden a new enemy joins and that AI ship just vanishes. The amount of times where I had a salvo in the air against like a destroyer going straight for the magazine, only for it to vanish the second before my salvo lands. Oh. That's probably my only real issue with all of these AI targets. Let's see if I have something good to shoot at.
Target
It's a
identified.
cruiser. Oh, pretty far. That's a Colorado, isn't it? It is. Ooh. It does mean we're at 7-0, but we already knew that. Alright. See what I mean? They just vanish as you're trying to line up a shot for them.
Target identified. Bearing 360. 13,000 meters.
Trying to get a range of my little impact indicator thing, but it is not really cooperating. So let's just see what that does.
Hold your helm.
Aye, steer port.
Enemy hit.
Long range dispersion still isn't great for the British 15-inch gun. But oh well.
Target identified.
Okay, we do have another enemy Scharnhorst instead of just everybody here. And I think... Okay, good stuff. Let's actually see if we can sink an enemy Scharnhorst, shall we?
Action station. Enemy spotted. Direct hit.
So what we'll do first is we'll aim for the front magazine, which is 1 dash away from middle. Let's see if we can get an accurate range. 1 dash away from middle, we'll under it. Let's see what happens. Lead is still looking decent. Will it actually hit? It went over.
Repair parties. Begin damage control.
Keep forgetting Scharnhorst is actually pretty quick, so I do have to account for that a bit better.
Hold your helm.
And I've lost a few gun barrels in front now. Fire. It's...
Control burning compartment.
Let them run both at the same time, who cares? think it's just the secondary guns will fire anyways. I'm guessing that a player might be shooting from that direction. Let's see again. I think this time around I'll get 2 dashes lead. Let's do about there. Let's see what on earth that is shooting at me. There we go. I think it might be the Von der Tann shooting me. Too much lead or too high? One of the two. Actually just slammed into one of his main guns directly. That's the other thing from the battlefield in the last match. We don't know what exactly they detonated on the Scharnhorst, whether it was the front or rear turrets. He is angled away, so maybe we want to actually go for the rear gun instead, which will be a dash and a half, something like that. Still not getting close to the magazine, but I'm not hitting it with many shells either. He's extremely well angled away from me. There is the middle of the ship. Should be around here-ish. So 1 and a bit for the front turrets. It's going away from us. Let's speed up. And we'll find out what happens later. Yeah, it's doing way too sharply. Let's do some of the softer targets in front of us. That's the ship. Front ammo is 1 dash in front. It's not really going that fast. That should be able to do it. Nope, he came to a halt. So just too much lead. Let's go a dash in front of the marker. Those are looking decent. They were high, but it did hit a shell room. There's a lot of fire going on in front of the ship as well. But look at how long that fire is actually taking before getting to the magazine. That's why I'm so confused with the new fire change, because you think, oh, it affects like fire spreading to the magazine really quickly, but it still takes some time, apparently. The Scharnhorst has just opened the distance. Which seems reasonable. think we do have a friend over there. And here's Scharnhorst coming closer.
Engines, all stop. Port, all. Collision alert! Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Fire, but it's just the secondaries again. And there's the Arkansas once more. And I think, for some reason I'm not putting up fire. Let's go first. I want to do some experimenting against a perhaps less than willing participant. Oh, there's a fire in his magazine, in his Barbette. Not quite sure what caused it, but there's a fire there. It's taking some time, and he blew up. Helgoland did it.
Hell, midships. Target identified.
Okay. So Scharnhorst does have a problem with fires in the ammo elevator. Interesting. So you're not actually aiming for the magazine, you're aiming for the Barbette again. So it's just a Barbette bug 2.0 for Scharnhorst. Good to know.
Shells on top. Collision alert.
Well, the thing is, what is there to fix? Because in the case of the Barbette bug, it was genuinely a bug. But this change is a direct, direct result of the change to the fire spreading, stuff. So there's nothing to fix.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Like, I think if you're going to find, like, bug report that, they wouldn't accept it because it's not a bug.
The enemy's getting closer to victory.
Damage control to station. Engines, all stop.
You know? So, I have been thinking recently, what I usually want to do every time an update comes around is make a big, this is what this update is, right? I'm starting to think it might actually be a better idea to just do those videos near the end of an update to get all of these wacky changes and bug fixes and damage model changes in there as well. Because let's say I was incredibly quick with making the video of this update as it came out. I wouldn't have been able to talk about this, fire spreading change, magazine health change. Like, will it kill him immediately? Is he going to put that fire out before he detonates? Yes. So, why is Arkansas able to do that?
Battle cruiser.
But Scharnhorst... Really German bias? I've been hearing quite the opposite. That the British have a really good balance in the Jutland event. Although the rate of fire on the German battles is probably quite nice. I'm sorry, but I really am just curious if you can recreate the detonation by fire. Again, there's my fire extinguisher automatic. I need to enable that again. Okay, that was high, so just knocked out the
Enemy ship on fire.
quad 20 on top of the turret. That's gonna be too little lead because he's slowing down. Maybe it'll connect. No, still too far back. If you had to, it depends on the secondary, but I don't know. I don't really use manual secondaries against battleships all that often.
Damage control to
But you're definitely going to do more with AP than you will HE. In most cases.
Light cruiser, starboard, 7,000 meters. We are damaged.
begin damage control.
Those are looking decent. Non-pens. So how did that German World War I dreadnought set a fire in the barbette? That is what I'm curious about. How did that fire start?
The enemy is winning. We must counterattack.
Need cover.
I don't know. Again, just nothing but shatters. So what he's hitting is the actual barbette, because I'm just not going through the upper hull. So I need to hit the actual barbette, which is not a big... There he goes, some damage again, so somebody hit it.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Somebody else hit it again. But somebody needs to set it on fire is the problem.
6,000 meters.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Attack the enemy.
Damage control to all. Control first compartment. Engine. Flash speed.
I'm doing nothing to it, I'm just wasting my shell. I need to shoot at other targets. I just don't think I have the actual concentration required to do it. Concentration of fire. And you see a Sverdlov just detonating your own charge. What? So I think it's definitely to do with the fire spread on Scharnhorsts, which they might actually be able to change still.
Damage control to station.
That's weird. Like that guy, I set a fire in his turret and his frontal ammo elevator, right? Is it going to spread to the magazine? I hope, but I doubt it. Oh, there we go, that's a showroom detonation. Will it spread to the actual magazine?
Engine. Full stop.
Come on. And no fire for that. Weird. Very, very weird. Also, I could have sworn that that's his magazine, I believe. That was red, and now it isn't. What is going on with these magazines? Because the thing is, they changed the way that fires interact with magazines, but they've also changed how magazines work in a separate update. So is there some weirdness going on with that? Again, just for arcade. And it makes me all the happier that I'm not an arcade player.
Ahead! 11,000 meters!
Action station, enemy spotted. Starboard your helm.
Aye, steer starboard.
Target identified. Battlefield.
There. 360. 14,000 meters.
But oh well. It's always weird trying to play battleships. Because I'm not somebody who really enjoys playing top tier naval that much. Like, sure, I'll play it to grind ships to get my trees completed. But I didn't play it for fun. I want to play for fun, I'll play 4-7 and stuff like that. And, like, I'll not play battleships for several months. I'll play them again and have to relearn everything when it comes to shot placement, how armor works, how fire spreads, what the best way to kill a ship is, what to aim for. And it is getting a little bit tiring having to do that.
Starboard all.
All the while, battle ratings are still the exact same. They just keep adding more powerful and powerful ships.
Shells on top.
I think there's also some desync issues going on. Because my shells, I'm aiming for the front, but I'm hitting the rear of the ship somehow.
Retreat to base.
Oh well. No, I think what I'll do... we'll do one more battle. We'll first look at Scharnhorst, before I forget again. We'll first look at Scharnhorst. Which will be... Where are my lineups? Where's my 7-0 lineup? I didn't remove it, did I? Strange. Oh, well, we'll just add a new one. The turret ring always extend that far on the Scharnhorst. Like this red bit here. Yes, Connor, this time I'm looking at it. Also, I never noticed that the Scharnhorst actually has powder over shells. Which for some reason I can't hold them. Ammo and artillery. Yeah, so it has magazines first. So unlike some other ships, of course, if the fire spreads, it'll reach the magazine before it reaches the shells. That might be why it's so lethal on it. But I don't see any particular reason why it would spread so fast. Although again, they changed how fires might interact differently with shell rooms compared to magazines. What are the British ships in terms of layout? They also have magazines over ammo, so why is it not exploding on my ship so fast? I don't know, man. Also, I'm seeing shells in the ammo elevator at the top. But those are not shells. They're not modeled as explodable shells. Even though if you go to the Americans... oh, okay, they're in the bottom of the shell room still. Oh, that's also like just the entire shell room, isn't it? I don't know, man. I just don't know anymore why the fire is just apparently lethal on Scharnhorst now. But anyways, so what I'm going to do is to do one more match, and we'll try the Battle of Jutland with the British, because that's what I'm playing. And let's just see what happens. It'll probably take me longer to queue into than anything else does. But oh well. There's so little people actually trying to queue up for this in the realistic battles mode. You know what? I'm not going to actually play this because it is genuinely the most boring part of battleship gameplay in my opinion. But I do want to showcase the fog bank stuff. You know what? Never mind. We'll try it. We'll try it. And if the queue exceeds like 10 minutes, then I won't. But we'll see what happens. You also only get this decal from it, don't you? I think this game would have been, well, this event would have been a lot more. Actually, I'm queuing for the arcade one, am I? Let's try the realistic one. It's going to be just as empty, isn't it? Because I just don't want to play the arcade one. You know what? No. I'll try and get some footage tomorrow, just outside of stream, to show it off. But yeah, I think I'm actually going to leave it at this for tonight. Because I've got some stuff to do tomorrow, or well, stuff I'd want to do tomorrow. And I think hopefully it isn't too disappointing to most of you. But yeah, today was HMS Repulse. Repulse is fine. Definitely need a lot more to do to actually spade it. And we've got decently close to Rodney. Good, I think 80,000 RP into it. Compared to the start of the stream. Next week, what will I do next week? Let me think. Probably some more coastals. But yeah. Next week will be coastals, and maybe, hopefully, I'll get a video out somewhere next week. But yeah. That will be it for tonight. Thank you all for coming to watch, as usual. And I will see you around next week, probably. But yeah. See you all later.